Welcome back, everyone. We have officially made it to the last day of the 50-day series. We are going to be wrapping up practice test 10 today. And yeah, I hope you've learned something along this journey, and it's, hopefully going to help you get that goal score you have for yourself. So, starting on question 19. Keenan made 32 cups of vegetable broth. Keenan then filled X small jars and Y large jars with vegetable broth he made. The equation 3x plus 5y is equal to 32 represents this situation, which is the best interpretation of 5y in this context. Okay, so if he has 32 cups and he fills X small jars, that means there are 3 cups in every small jar and 5 cups in every large jar based on this equation over here. So 5y would just mean that it would represent the total amount of cups for held within large jars. So the number of large jars Keenan filled, no, that would just be y. The number of small jars Keenan filled, no. The total number of cups of vegetable broth in the large jars, yes. The total numbers of cups of vegetable broth in the small jars, no. Okay. Question 20. A circle in the xy plane has a diameter with endpoints 2, 4 and 2, 14. An equation of this circle is x minus 2 squared plus y minus 9 squared is equal to r squared, where r is a positive constant. What is the value of r? Okay, so we know that the diameter goes from 2, 4 to 2, 14. So that's going to be a diameter of 10. So the radius is going to equal 5. And therefore, our equation is going to look like that, where r is equal to 5. Question 21. Line L is defined by 3y plus 12x is equal to 5. Line N is perpendicular to line L in the xy plane. What is the slope of line N? Okay, let's change line L into slope, into y-intercept form first. So we have y is equal to, move the 12x to the other side, so negative 4x plus 5 over 3. Now, this is line L, so let's say y of L. Now, if we're trying to find y of N, we're going to have the opposite, or the negative reciprocal of this slope. So it's going to be positive 1/4 x plus, let's just say b. The y-intercept doesn't matter in this context. So the slope of line N is going to be 1/4. Question 22. What is the sum of solutions to the given equation? Well, when we take away the absolute value, we get 2 possible solutions. So we're going to solve this one first. So negative 5x equals 60. So x is equal to negative 12. And then negative 5x is equal to negative 86. So x is equal to 86 over 5, and then it's asking for the sum of the solutions, so we're going to add these together. So this is going to be equal to 26 over 5, and that's answer choice D. Question 23, for the exponential function f, the value of f of 1 is k, where k is a constant. Which of the following equivalent forms of the function f show the value of k as the coefficient of or the base? So if we're looking for coefficient or the base, that means it needs to be this or this in each of them. So we're looking for f of 1 is k, where k is a constant. So any of these could represent k, but it needs to be at f of 1. So at f of 1, if the only the coefficient or only the base is going to represent the constant of f of 1 as a whole, then one of them needs to be the value of 1, so it doesn't change the other one, if that makes sense. So to do that, we need an exponential value of x minus 1. Therefore, our base is going to turn to 1, and then 128 remains unchanged. So the coefficient can represent the value of f of 1 as a constant. Therefore, the coefficient can represent k. So answer choice C is correct for this question. Question 24. In the given equation, C is a constant. The equation has exactly one solution. What is the value of C? Well, the value of C is going to be found with the discriminant here. We're going to use this, so we're going to get 900 minus 4 times A times C. It's going to be plus 36C is equal to 0. So C is equal to 900 divided by 36, or negative 900 divided by 36. That's going to be equal to negative 25. Question 25. Which of the following expressions has a factor of x plus 2b, where b is a positive integer constant? Well, if we're looking for factors, what I would do in this scenario is solve for I would solve for x, or sorry, if this is a factor, then when x is equal to negative 2b, the equation should equal 0 because it's a factor. So when we plug in negative 2b for x, we're going to plug them in for each of these. So we get 3 times 4b squared plus, sorry, minus 14b plus 14b is equal to 0. And if b is a positive integer constant, we're going to get 12b squared is equal to 0, which can't be correct if b is a positive integer constant. So A is incorrect. We're going to try B now. We get the same thing here, so 12b squared, and then we get negative 50, negative 56b plus 14b is equal to 0. So we get 12b squared, and then negative 56b plus 14b is going to be negative 42b, but we move that to the other side to make it positive. So we get b is equal to 42 over 12, which could be correct. I'm not going to simplify this just because it's already a possible answer. However, I'm going to come back to it. 3x squared plus 42x plus 14b now, and we get 12b squared minus 84b plus 14b is equal to 0, and this simplifies to 60b, or sorry, 70b. Yeah, 70b when we move it to the other side. This is equal to 12b squared. So b here, when we divide 70 by 12, we get another fraction, which we'll come back to. And then for answer choice D, we get 12b squared minus 98b plus 14b is equal to 0. So 12b squared is equal to negative or positive 84b. When we simplify that, we get b is equal to 7, I believe, or sorry, 84 over 12, which simplifies to 7. And I'm gonna go back and simplify the rest now. And this simplifies down to 5.83 repeating. And this simplifies down to 3.5. And we're going to go back to the problem and read how b is a positive integer constant. So if it's an integer constant, it can't be a decimal, it has to be an integer constant. So therefore D is your answer. Question 26. Two data sets of 23 integers each are summarized in the histogram shown. For each of the histograms, the first interval represents the frequency of integers greater than or equal to 10 but less than 20. The second interval represents the frequency of integers greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30, and so on. What is the smallest possible difference between the mean of dataset A and the mean of dataset B? Okay, so automatically looking at these graphs, the difference is that they're the same. However, dataset A is starting on the interval 20 to 29, but dataset B is starting from the interval 10 to 19. And I'm not saying 10 to 20 because, as in the problem, it mentions that the first interval is greater than or equal to 10 but less than 20. And they're integers, so it's not going to be 19.9, it's going to be 19. So to get the closest means, we are going to assume that each of the values in this range are 20 exactly, and each of the values in this range are 19 exactly. Therefore, we try and even our spread out, because when we go to this one, and then this one, and then this one, and we go to this one, and then this one, we get the most similar mean when we sum them up. So, to do this, for the mean of A, we get we're looking at our frequency, 3 times, and then we said that's going to be 20, plus 4 times 30, plus 7 times 40, plus 9 times 50. And this is going to be equal to, we're just going to use our calculator for this. It's going to be 60 plus 120 plus 280 plus 450, 910 divided by 3 plus 4, which is 7 plus 7, 14 plus 9, which is 23. So 910 divided by 23. And then mean for B is 3 times 19 plus 4 times 29 plus 7 times 39 plus 9 times 49. And this is all going to be divided by 23. So we get 3 times 29 plus 4 times 29 plus 7 times 39 plus 9 times 49. So it would be 917. That isn't correct. Let me do this one more time. 3 times 19 plus 4 times 29 plus 7 times 39 plus 9 times 49. 887 over 23. Now the difference between these is, well, let's just subtract. It's 910 minus 887, which is 23. So when we subtract these two from each other, we get 23 over 23, which is equal to 1. So the smallest possible difference in the means of data sets between A and B is 1. Question 27. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 624 centimeters. The height of this triangle is k squared or 3 centimeters, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? Okay, so taking this step by step. Equilateral triangle. So each of these sides are the same, and we know that each side is 624 divided by 3. And that's because the perimeter is 624 and there are 3 sides. So that will give us 208 for each side. But here it's asking for the height, which is k squared root of 3. And if we're going to solve for k, what we need to know is this side. So this side only is going to be 208 divided by 2, since it's only half of the base of the triangle, and that's going to give us 104. So now I'm going to draw this triangle again for you. We have k squared root of 3, 104, and 208. So we know that Pythagorean's theorem, 104 squared plus k squared root of 3 squared is equal to 208 squared. So, simplifying this, we get 10,816 plus 3k squared is equal to 208 squared, which is 43,264. And we're gonna subtract 10,816. So it's gonna give us 32,448, which is equal to 3k squared. We're gonna divide this side by 3. It's going to give us k squared is equal to 10,816. And now we're going to take the square root. And we get k is equal to plus or minus 104. But you have to consider that since it's asking for height, and height can't be negative, it's only positive 104. So k is equal to 104. That's your answer. And yeah, that wraps up our last problem of the series. I hope this helped some of you, or hopefully most of you, who watched at least some of the episodes. And always feel free to, go back and rewatch the ones where there were maybe a harder series of problems. And yeah, just keep on studying. For your future studies, I recommend just doing the PSAT practice test if you run out of actual digital SAT practices. But yeah, keep working hard and you guys will do great on the next test.